Hi, this is Ram Kumar, and we are in Essential Bollywood Vocabulary General Urdu Words Session 5. Here we are going to talk about some Urdu words that appear in Bollywood cinema. So I just came up with a joke. What are the national languages of Bollywood cinema? Hindi, Bhojpuri, Urdu, Punjabi, and Marathi. I mean, this can be considered as national languages of Bollywood if Bollywood was a country, right? And these languages have had a major impact. Not so much the southern languages, they don't have much of an impact in Bollywood, but much of these languages are having a major impact on Bollywood. So that those are the national languages of Bollywood. That's a joke. Let's go on to the show. So the first word is BV. BV means wife or patni. Then the word shohar. The shohar means pati or husband. So BV and shohar are the customary words for pati, patni or husband and wife in Bollywood. Then we go to the word zulum and sitam, right? So there those that stands for actually torture or abuse, right? Zulum sitam karna used to stand for torture and abuse. Stands for torture and abuse. In Hindi, you can call it dukhdai, right? So that is the meaning of the word zulum or sitam, that which gives you pain, right? So that's called dukhdai, right? And then we go to the next word. The next word is shamiana. In English, it's called a tent. That's the word shamiana. Still very popular. And in Hindi, you would call it as tambu. So that's the word shamiana. Then we come to a word. I don't even know whether this is currently accepted. So the word is yatim. I think a yatim means a person who is specially abled, or they would call it viklang. So I'm not hearing it anymore. So there's a word called yatim, which used to be quite common. Then we use come to a word called beva. Beva is widow. In it's a widow, not a widower. A widow is called a beva, and I don't think there is a widower in Urdu. I don't know what it is called. I think in Hindi they call a widower as a randwa. So that's a widower. Beva is a widow, very common. Uh, and in Hindi it is called a vidwa. So that is the word beva. And then we come to a group of three words. They sound similar or can be used in similar contexts, but there are small differences between them. So the first word is Bat Saluk. The word Bat Saluk is used to mean misbehave. So you typically misbehave with animals or ladies, women. So that's Bat Saluk. And Bat Saluk, you can say Burai Karna. That's a Bat Saluk with somebody. Bura Karna, right? So that would say Bat Saluk. And or Bartav, Bure Bartav, right? That would be more Hindi. So that Bure Bartav is misbehave or Masaluk. And then we come to the next word is Bad Mizaz. Again, a very good word. Difficult to find an equivalent. Bad Mizaz in English it's simple. It's ill-tempered. In Hindi, I would say that is Ashant. Somebody who is not Shant is a Bad Mizaz person. Somebody who is not peaceful. So that is a Bad Mizaz, but it closely maps to ill-tempered. And then we come to the word Be-Insafi. I think I have covered it earlier, but just for the sake of completion, it means injustice, Be-Insaf, and it means Anyay in Hindi. And then we come to a nice word in Urdu called Dakhal Andazi. The Dakhal Andazi is to interfere in something, is called दखल अंदाजी और टू पोक योर नोज और टू इन हिंदी अपना पैर डालना या उंगली करना या those things, slang. So they call it dakhal andazi or interference or putting your nose into somebody else's business. So that's dakhal andazi. Dakhal is actually to interfere or to get inside, and andaz means, as we discussed, a style. So you can break this down into a person whose style is to get into the affairs of other people. Right? usually used in courtly scenes to stay that you should stay within your limits. And then we come to Hera Fairy. Hera Fairy is a very common word. It actually means cheating. Fareb, Ullu Banana, 420. This kind of words is called Hera Fairy. Closely related is, I think, Golmaal. So Golmaal or Hera Fairy are those days to indicate a cheat, a thuggy. Those things are called Hera Fairy. Then we come to the next word that is called Dilchaspi. Uh, Dilchaspi is to show an interest in something. Dil stands for heart, and I think Chaspi means a taste. So taste of the heart. Maybe that's just a guess. So Dilchaspi is basically interest, to show an interest, and in Hindi you would say to show a लगाव towards something. Like you can say उसको मेरे मेरे बेटे को पढ़ाई पर लगाव है या काम पर लगाव है. Somebody who has an interest in something. So that is a dilchaspi. Then we come to the word of beauty. Yeah, maybe I can cover them as a bunch together. We will cover the word zulf. Zulf, very very nice way to say hair of a woman. So that's the hair of a woman. There is no specific Hindi word to say hair of a woman. It's all kesh. So, but in Urdu specifically, the hair of a woman is zulf. And then we come to the word for terror. Terror is called dehshat, and in Hindi it is called atank. So dehshat, atank, and terror are the connected words. So dehshat is atmosphere of terror, or to spread one's terror. So that's the word for terror. And thus we come to the end of this session. This is Ram Kumar for Essential Bollywood Vocabulary. Thank you and have a nice day.